In Unit 3, Laws of Motion. Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed this example problem number 3.22, and today we are going to see the example problem of 3.23. What is given in the question? The moon orbits the earth once in 27.3 days in an almost circular orbit. Calculate the centripetal acceleration experienced by the moon. Then the radius of the earth is given as 6.4 into 10 to the power of 6 meter. So that means the moon orbits the earth in a circular path as a time taken of 27.3 days, and it experiences the centripetal acceleration, and that we are going to calculate here. For that, they are given the radius of the earth, that is 6.4 into 10 to the power of 6 meter. And related to this, now we are going to see one diagrammatic representation. So this is the diagrammatic representation of this problem, and the moon that is revolving around the earth, that is the orbits, and the small circle is a moon, and the yellow pointer towards the earth. Okay, that's green. The center, the blue sphere, that is the earth. Okay, and this yellow represents the acceleration towards the earth. Okay, and the velocity is different for the moon. It is in the outward direction, and that velocity, that means the speed, determines the acceleration, centripetal acceleration, and that centripetal acceleration we are going to calculate here. Now I'll show you the exact representation of this diagrammatic represent of this problem, that is this one. See, A, the acceleration, okay, centripetal acceleration is towards the earth, and V is the velocity of the. So what is given in the question? Given is radius of the earth is given as r is equal to 6.4 into 10 to the power of 6 meter, and the time taken is given as 27.3 days. And the next the solution has to be given as the centripetal acceleration is given by A is equal to P square by R. We know that. So expressions as explicitly depends on the moon's speed. I already told you. So, but the moon speed is non-trivial. So you know, you studied in your mathematics the trivial and the non-trivial. So what is the meaning of non-trivial? The moon speed cannot be 0. It will have some value. So that we have to find out with the centripetal acceleration. So we can work with the formula, that is omega square Rm is equal to Am. Am is nothing but centripetal acceleration of the moon due to the earth's gravity, and omega is the angular velocity, and Rm is the distance between the earth and the moon, which is 60 times of the earth. That is the distance of the earth and the moon, which is 60 times the radius of the earth. See here, the omega square Rm is equal to Am. So Rm is nothing but 60 times R. R value is already given, the radius of the earth, that is 60 into 6.4 into 10 to the power of 6. And omega is nothing but 2 pi by T. And T value is also given as 27.3 days, and that 27.3 into 1 day is equal to 24 hours, and that we are substituting as 24, and hour is substituted as 60 minutes, and 1 minute is substituted as a 60 seconds. That means we are changing this timing in terms of seconds. So 27.3 into 24 into 60 into 60, that means you will get the time taken as 2.358 into 10 to the power of 6 seconds. Okay, and this is the given values. And next, substituting these values in the acceleration formula, that is Am is equal to omega square Rm, and omega is given as 2 pi by T the whole square, and 384 into 10 to the power of 6, that is RM value. Okay, RM value is already calculated, that is 60 into 6.564 into 10 to the power of 6, that is equal to 384 into 10 to the power of 6, that is RM value. And we are substituting this value here, 4 pi square into 384 into 10 to the power of 6 by 2.358 10 to the power of 6 the whole square. So now we are going to calculate separately the 4 pi square value. You know the 4 pi value is 3.14. So 4 into 3.14 we will get 39.478. And then we are going to calculate the separate value in the denominator value, that is 2.358 into 10 to the power of 6 whole square, and you will get 5.560 into 10 to the power of 12. And the next, now we are going to substitute all the values in the AM, that is the centripetal acceleration. What is the denominator values? So 4 pi square is calculated as 39.478 into, and the RM value is 384 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by denominator value calculated already, that is 5.560 into 10 to the power of 12. Now you see the next step, 39.478 into 384 into 10 to the power of 6. Only we are now calculating the power, that is denominator power we are having 12 and the numerator power is 10 to the power of 6. So 10 to the power of 12 is taken in the numerator side, it becomes minus. Okay, and now we are calculated the remaining values. We will get the answer as 2726.53 into, now see the power values, it is 10 power 6 into 10 power minus 12, and that is 6 minus 12 minus 6 you will get. So this minus 6 is the last value we are substituted as a power here, 2726.53 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, and the next we are going to calculate this powers only. We are taking the power, that is 2726 as 0.2726, so we will get 10 power plus 4, and this minus 6 is here, so plus 4 minus 6, it becomes minus 2, that is 0.2726 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Again we are multiplying that minus 2 also, that means divided by 100, you will get the answer as 0.00272 meter per second square, that is the centripetal acceleration. And so what is the last final value we are getting? 0.00272 meter per second square, that is the answer. That is the centripetal acceleration of the moon towards the earth is 0.00272 meter per second. So see this diagram. In this diagram, the car is moving in a circular track, not on the straight line. So in a circular path, the car is moving, the velocity is along the direction, but the centripetal force is acting towards the center. So if the vehicles are traveled on the circular track, what are the changes and how the forces acts, that is we are going to see now. So our next topic is vehicles on a leveled circular track or a leveled circular road. Vehicles on a leveled circular road, when the vehicles travels in a curved path, there must be a centripetal force is acting on it. We know that, we already know how the centripetal force is provided when it is moving on a circular path. That is due to the frictional force, that is between the tire and the surface of the road, there is a frictional force. So due to that we are getting the centripetal force. Here on the vehicle, the mass is considering as m and moving with the speed of v and in a circular track with a radius of r. So three forces are acting here on the vehicle. What are the three forces? We'll see now. The first force is acting mg, that is gravitational force is acting downward here the vehicle, and the normal force acting upward on the vehicle, and the frictional force acting horizontally inwards along the road. So these three forces acting on the vehicle, and this given here as in the diagrammatic representation. So we will see the diagrammatic representation. See this diagram. So three forces are acting now. What are the three forces? Gravitational force acting downward, normal force acting upward, frictional force F acting horizontal inward along the road. So here see the diagrammatic representation. See the first diagram. Normal force, it is on the straight road, that is the vehicle is traveling on the straight road. We are getting the two forces, that is one is the N normal force and the other one is the gravitational force. See the second diagram, what is given here. In the second diagram, it's a curved road. That means the vehicle is traveling on the curved road. So the N is a normal force and the downward force is mg, that is the gravitational force, and F is nothing but our frictional force. So this frictional force will give us the centripetal force. Okay, so this is the curved path forces. Three forces are acting here. One is a gravitational force, and second one is a normal force, and the third one is a frictional force. And suppose the road is horizontal, then the normal force and the gravitational force is exactly equal and opposite. Therefore, the centripetal force is provided by the force of static friction. So the friction has to be in static. The tire and the surface of the road, the friction between these two is static. So which acts towards the center of the circular track. So it becomes towards the center of the circular track. That is Fs is equal to mv square r. So that we will see now what is given there. So see here the force, that is the force of static friction Fs between the tire and the surface of the road which acts towards the center of the circular track is given as mv square by r, that is equal to Fs. So we already seen in the previous session itself the static friction can increase from 0 to maximum value. So Fs is lesser than or equal to mu s mg, and mu s is nothing but the coefficient of a static friction. There are two conditions are possible in it. One, if mv square by r is lesser than or equal to mu s mg, or mu s is greater than or equal to v square by rg. So you know that how it comes. So it comes from the first equation, that is mv square by r is lesser than or equal to mu s mg. That is, we are cancelling both the m's on both the sides. It becomes v square by r lesser than or equal to mu s g, and we are taking that g on the another side. It will comes to the denominator. So you will get mu s is greater than or equal to v square by rg. Other words, you are taking all the denominator value into the numerator. It becomes mu s rg, and taking the v square as in the square root, you get root of mu s rg greater than or equal to v. And in this case only the vehicles are in the safe move in the curved path. That means if you are driving on the curved path, if you are taking the maximum speed, what happens? The car skid. So when you get the safe turn, means the static friction would be able to provide the necessary centripetal force to the bend of the car on the road. So the static coefficient between the tire and the surface of the road determines what maximum the car can give for the safe turn. That means static coefficient is maximum than the speed. So here that is greater than or equal to v. Only this condition the car is moving on the safe turn. That is, the car can turn on safely, do not skid. Okay, this is the first condition. So what is the first condition? The static coefficient is greater than or equal to the speed of the car. If the car has more speed, then it gets skid. So come to the second condition. What is given there? See here, if mv square by r is greater than mu s mg. Here also the same simplification, you will get mu s is lesser than v square by rg. Same thing. So if the static coefficient is less when compared to the speed, then the car starts to skid. Okay, only if the static coefficient is more when compared to the speed, then it will be turned safely. So these two conditions for this static frictions. Okay, and related with this, one problem is given here, that is the example of 3.24. So what have we discussed now? So if the car is moving, that is traveling on the circular path, two conditions are there. Only the centripetal force is due to the frictional force traveling, the frictional force between the tire and the surface of the road, and that frictional force, if it is a static and that static friction coefficient is more, then it will be safe turn. If it is less, then it starts skid. Okay, so related to that, they are given one problem in the example 3.24. See the question. Consider a circular leveled road of the radius 10 meter having coefficient of static friction 0.81. Three cars are there, A, B and C are traveling with the speed 7 per meter per second, 8 meter per second and 10 meter per second respectively. Which car will skid when it moves in a circular road? And G is also given, that is constant value 10 meter per second square. Solution has to be given. It's a very simple one. From the safe turn condition, what is a safe turn condition? V must be less than or equal to root of mu SRG. So V is lesser than or equal to root of mu SRG. So root of mu SRG. So all the values are given. Mu S value is given as 0.81 into R is given as 10 and G is given as 10 meter per second square. So we are substituting all the values. You will get the root, that is 0.81 is nothing but into 10 means it becomes what? 8.1. Again you are multiplying with the another 10, it becomes 81. So root of 81 is nothing but 9 meter per second is the answer. So now we have to that means we have to now we have to make which cars has moves with the safe turn and which is skid. So for C, root of mu S RG is less than V. Other two is that is the speed of the car A, B and C, 7 meter per second, 8 meter per second and 10 meter per second. So see all the values, and root of mu S RG is less than V only for the C. The cars A and B will have the safe turn, but the car C has the speed of 10 meter per second, that is the V is more. So while it turns, which exceeds the safe turning speed, hence the car C will skid. So which is skid? C. So usually the skid means the V should be more. Okay, the root of USRG is less.